Sorry about that. Okay, so we're here today to talk about getting started. Now, I know a lot of you that are here, you've actually already completed your Canvas Basics course. And so some of this may be information that you don't actually need. But for what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with a quick overview, just navigating Canvas, making sure that you understand how to get to everything, how to get to your courses, how to hide courses that you don't want to see anymore, what published versus unpublished means, and some of the to-do items, things like that you have access to as a teacher, just kind of a general overview. And then I'm going to kind of open it up to questions because we have a pretty big mix here. The rest of the sessions after this one, if you look at the calendar, they are specific. So like the next one, it's specifically on creating content pages, or in a couple of weeks, there's one specifically on creating Google Cloud assignments. So this is really the only one that's more broad. The rest will be very targeted and focused on a specific skill in Canvas. So if there's something you've been struggling with in the Beyond Basics course, I would recommend that you look at that webinar schedule and see if there's one that lines up to that, and that's the ones that you should come to. So again, this is going to be a quick little overview, and then I'm going to open it up to you guys completely, and we'll answer any questions that you have, okay? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and turn over to sharing my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Thumbs up or nods or something. All right, awesome. And again, one more time, for those that may have just joined us, please, please, please make sure to pop your name into chat so that I know you were here. And that way I can give you your credit for being here today. Thank you. All right, so this is Canvas, and this is for our 6th through 12th grade teachers who will be using Canvas as their LMS platform this coming school year. All right. So here I am, I'm in my dashboard. Remember that you can get to Canvas by going directly to leisd.instructure.com. You can also get there through our rapid identity, so that login.leisd.ws, the rapid ID portal, and when you log in, sorry, my internet apparently is going to go slow. So Canvas is one of the options right here. You can also get to Canvas in your Google Waffle, which is right here. And when you scroll down, Canvas LMS is one of the options. So those are just 3 different ways that you can actually get to Canvas. And if you can't remember, but for most of you, the easiest way is probably through your LEISD portal, your rapid identity portal. The other thing you can do would be to bookmark your Canvas dashboard homepage, and then that way you can easily get back to it. All right, so here I am in my dashboard, and you're going to see that there's a published courses, and then down here at the bottom, I also have unpublished courses right here. One of the #1 questions that I get asked at the beginning of the school year is, why can't my kids see my course? And 9 times out of 10, it's because the teacher hasn't published the course. Okay, Canvas does not auto-publish. So it's a multi-step publish. You have to publish the content, you have to publish the module, you have to publish the course. Each of those layers makes it so that your students can see it. So publishing your course gives your students access to the actual course, and then you publish the modules, that gives them access to the modules, and then when you publish the content, that gives them access to the content, okay? So if at the beginning of the school year, if your students are saying, I don't see your class, check that it's been published. That's just one of those kind of quick fixes that comes up a lot at the beginning of the school year. And you'll know now because we've added this, so you'll know, hey, these are all my unpublished courses down here. Okay. All right. So some of you have asked me about how do I get rid of courses that I don't need anymore? So like a TELPAS course or your HR courses. Don't unenroll or remove yourself from those courses. The reason for that is those are graded courses that were provided. And so with that, the people who created them, so like your TELPAS administrator, may need that information in case they ever get audited. Or if they ever want to come back and say, hey, did you actually complete your TELPAS training in 2018? So don't unenroll yourself, but what you can do is you can go to courses. So right here on your sidebar, go to courses, and then scroll down and find all courses. And then anything with a star next to it will show up on your dashboard. So anything you don't want to see, just click that, and it will take those courses off of your dashboard. So I just removed 3 courses off my dashboard. So if you feel like you have too many courses, that's something you can do to help clean your dashboard up a little bit, okay? And I do have the chat open, so if I'm going too fast or if there's anything you want me to re-show, just pop it into the chat or feel free to unmute yourself and ask. I also had somebody ask, they said that the white was a little harsh for them. So like depending on your own view, what you can do is you can add color overlays to these. Oh, just kidding. I have to do it up here. Sorry. So see, if that white is too bright, you can add color overlays. So it's kind of like some of our dyslexia students, they have like color overlays that they put on their pages when the white screen is too bright. So that is another function that you have within your dashboard, and also that your students would have within their dashboard. So if that color overlay makes it a little easier for you to read, that is an option you have, and that's right up here at these triple dots. You can also color code your courses. So like for me, all of my digital learning courses are pink, so that way I can easily look at that and see that all the pink courses, that's all the same type of course. And then I can adjust the color here. So that's pretty easy. A couple questions. When I publish, how do I tell students that the class is ready to start working on? So Deborah, your situation is going to be a little bit different because you don't have classes from Focus. So for most of you, your classes will be created for you from Focus. And once you publish it, your students will see it on their dashboard the same as you do with your courses. So Deborah, for you, depending on how you're choosing to use this, you would have to share out an enroll link to get the students enrolled. And then you would want to, like with that email, as soon as they were enrolled, have the course published, so then it would show up on their dashboard. And that is something we can talk about later when you get ready to start enrolling kids. Okay. You can also change the view. I've got mine in card view. You can change to list view, but that's only going to show things that you have to do, which I don't really, for me, that's not what I want. For students, that might be a good option. And then you can also do a recent activity. But for teachers, I would recommend card view, just because that's going to show you all of your courses. Okay. All right. Over here, you can see my to-do list. These are items that I need to grade. Okay. Oops, I clicked on something. Sorry, guys. My chat is like right in my way. Okay, so this is my to-do list as a teacher. And then these are some upcoming due dates and calendar items. Your students see the same type of thing. They obviously don't see the grading, but they see the to-do list in terms of assignments that they have coming up. So they would also have a to-do list that would keep them on task, and they can also view that calendar by clicking on View Calendar. Okay, so that's just a little quick overview of the dashboard. Everyone should now have the ability to start a new course. If anybody is in here and you do not have the ability to start a new course, please let me know, and I will get that remedied for you. But most of you should have that ability to start a new course. And that is the first step to creating your sandbox. Is there anybody in here today that has not yet made their sandbox? Nobody unmuted and nobody typed anything, so I think we're okay with that. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of things real quick, and then I'll open it up for questions. So here's my sandbox that we made during, if you joined me for the sandbox session at SLS, this is that same one that I started playing in. Right now, I still have the home page here just as modules. And remember what I was saying about published? So these pages are published, but the module is not. So technically, my students cannot see this content yet until I click publish here. And now that whole module is visible to my students. Okay. You do have a student view option. And guys, what's great about student view in Canvas is that it's not just a view. You can actually submit as if you are a student. So when you come in here, you can actually go through the assignment. And this was a page, so I can't do anything here, but you can actually go through the assignment and view it. I can't authorize my Google Drive. This is very important. I cannot authorize my Google Drive in student view because student doesn't have a Google Drive for me to authorize. So when I click authorize, it's not going to connect because there's no Google account tied to that. So that is one thing for you to know. That's one of the questions that I get asked a lot. Okay. And this assignment's already been logged. Where do I go to see student? So student view, let me get out of it. Student view is available on the course homepage on the sidebar menu right here where it says student view. And then you'll know because it'll pop this pink banner around your page. You can also get to student view under settings. Right here. But the easiest way is just from your course homepage. All right, so we've got 15 minutes left today. And again, this one is a little bit different. Please look at the webinar calendar because the rest of them will be very focused on specific skills. But I want to open up this time now to answer questions, and we can do any kinds of questions. So our to-do list and calendar events auto-created by Canvas. If you put due dates in on assignments, it will add them to the calendar, but you have to put due dates in. And the to-do list will show up either way, even without due dates, but it won't show up on the calendar unless you have a due date. Very good question. What else, guys? And feel free to unmute yourself if you'd like to ask as well. And if you type it into chat, I will try to repeat it so that we get it in the recording. Okay, is there a way to print a Canvas quiz? Technically speaking, Terry, there's not. There are a few workarounds that you can do, and I'll be sure to add that, but that will probably be something that I add in the Beyond Basics course for those of you who are already there, just because it goes along with quizzes. So I'll make a note there to add that. Because it is a little bit of a cheat or workaround to do that. Deborah, I think it is also very user-friendly. The thing about it is the more you use it, the easier it gets, for sure. And I think that some of you are finding that to be true. It can seem overwhelming when you open it up and it's completely blank. With that said, for those of you who are interested, I will have a template that is available that I'll be sharing out. So if you wanted a template, you could import this into your course. And it would look like this. You would just come in and change your name, enter your contact information. This is linked to your syllabus. This is linked to a blank page where you could put class resources, and this is linked to modules. So if you're like, I want some kind of design, but I'm not ready to do it myself, this is something that will be available for you if you're feeling overwhelmed by the design aspect of it. And so what I'll do is I'll be adding that to Commons, and then there will be a video that will show you how to import that into your courses. For those of you that would like that. So again, that's an option. I tried to make it as kind of generic as possible so that it's still branded, but that it looks nice. At least I think it looks nice. So that is an option there for those of you who might be interested in that. All right, going back up to get some questions. If I'm a student, teacher, or co-teacher, you probably want to be in as a co-teacher and not a student teacher. Co-teacher is going to give you more access. Student teacher is a little bit more limited, just because those are not members of truly of our organization. For the most part, student teachers have pretty open access, but there are some things co-teachers can do that student teachers cannot. So Elizabeth, that'll kind of be up to you and the teacher you're co-teaching with. You'll want to talk to them about how they add you, but I would recommend they add you as a co-teacher. And Jennifer and Sandra, thank you both about the comments on the videos. Guys, I try to make the videos as simple and straightforward as possible, and I try to break it down so that they're not overwhelming. And I try to, but if you find that that is just not working for you, you can also always reach out and we can do Zooms if you're needing more one-on-one support. Video on how to change your template. When I show the video on how to import it, I'll also show you how to edit it. Yes. If I have a page with an answer key and I want students to complete the assignment before they see that answer key, how do you suggest to handle that? So if you have a page and what you would do is you would set a prereq and a requirement in your module. So let me show you kind of what that would look like. So right here in my course, I'm going to come into edit and I'm going to say add requirements, and I'm going to say they must move through them in sequential order. And so then I would say that they must view this item and then they must submit this item and then update the module. And that's going to lock it so that the students have to do the content in this particular order. So Terry, for you, you would have another page here that would have the answer key, and you would just set that requirement that they had to do it in the order that it is in the module. It does not have to be in mastery paths for them to add. Those prereqs are available no matter what you're doing. Elizabeth, I do not have mastery paths out yet. That's going to be probably in a level 3 course. I am still designing the level 2. There's just so much Canvas can do that I'm trying to break it down into consumable chunks for everybody so that you don't get overwhelmed. Because if I were to put everything into one course, it would be like a 25-hour course, and that's just way too much. So I will be, mastery paths will be something that will come out level 3, and that'll be purely optional for those that want to learn it.
Would you have to have the mastery, would you have to have the second one, Beyond Basics, to take that?
Beyond Basics, I have it set up where it's not really, it's optional. So what I would probably do is just share out a link to enroll in it, and you can enroll in it as long as you've completed the level 1 course.
Okay, because what we will be using this fall, or what I hear that we're going to be using, is for self-motivation for the students. That would work so well with that mastery pass, because they wouldn't know what level they were on.
Yes,
we had 3 levels. Right.
Yes.
I would love to see that. So we'll know. You'll send out a little thing.
Yes, I'll be communicating out, and basically since now it's all of secondary, I'll probably just send something out to the MLs and kind of say, hey, level 2 is fully done and level 3 is available. Here's the link to enroll in either of them because they would both be optional.
Okay, thank you.
I've already started to create my courses. When we have our, can I just export these? Okay, good question. Francisco was saying he's already started to create his courses for next year. So that's what your sandbox really should be, is content. And what you'll do is that you will be able to copy that sandbox into your live classes when they populate for you in the fall. So yes. And to do that, right here where it says import existing content. So I'm on my home page, import existing content. You click that. And the first option from this drop down will say copy a course. Mine is going to ask me to type it in, but yours is going to show all of your courses as a drop down here. So you just pick the one that you want and then select it. So if I wanted to, and mine's a little different because I have access to more courses, but then I can say all content and then I can say import, and that is going to actually copy that content into this course for me.
Misty, and of course I can copy that to 2 or 3 different periods of Spanish too?
Yes, you can copy them to all, and if you choose to cross list, which is something we'll talk about when we're together in the fall, you can put all of your light classes together and it will copy it to all of them.
Yeah, I remember that on your class, yes.
Yes, and if you choose to keep them separate, you could just repeat this for each of your classes.
Yeah.
Misty, I have a question.
Yes.
If I'm building a course for my team, we're all going to use the same course, and I know I can share it out to them. Once I've shared it out to them, are they able to go in and edit and delete stuff that they don't necessarily, like, I'm building it for all of us, and I know, like, one teacher likes to use this particular app, but another teacher may not. Can they go in and delete stuff and rearrange content once I've built it?
Once they import it into their own course, it's theirs, and they can remove what they don't want.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes. Now, I wouldn't tell them don't do it in the sandbox because that would impact everybody. Like, if you needed to re-import it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it would definitely be once I've shared it, once they've taken it in their own. Okay.
Once they've added it to their own course, then they can do whatever they need to it.
Okay, thank you.
Lisa, you asked about how do you know if you complete the basics class. I'm grading that as I have time. There's a lot of submissions there. So one of the ways that you would know would be if you get to this, let me open it up. Joy, while this is loading, the Basics LMS Prep course in Strive is just the Strive enrollment. You also need to enroll in the actual Canvas course, and the link for that is in the instructor notes. If you can't find it, send me an email and I can send you a direct link. So Lisa, if you get down here and this has been unlocked for you, then you've submitted everything you needed to submit. If for some reason you get an incomplete, you would, depending on if you have your grade notifications set up, you would get that notification. But even if you submitted, it will still unlock because I don't have the requirement set that you have to score a certain percent. I just have that you have to submit it, if that makes sense. So if this module has been unlocked for you, you've submitted everything you needed to submit. If it's not unlocked yet, then you're not done. And all of this down here is optional. This is just additional videos. There's no assignments that go with these, but I do recommend that you take the time to view them because they will be helpful for you. You can also check badges. I think it'll show you. If you have your badge, that also means that you have gotten to that point. So just if you're curious.
Misty?
Yes, sir.
You said if, for example, I have 3 or 4 different Spanish 2 classes, I can join them together.
Mm-hmm.
If I create assignments, what about grades? All the students will be randomly, so I need to
so when you
work to full grades, or they are going to be transferred directly into Focus?
So right now, grades do not transfer automatically to Focus. We do not have grade pass back.
Okay.
It's something that we're looking at, but just because of the way that the current high school schedule is made with the multiple sections based on grade level,
Okay.
Focus and Canvas don't talk.
Don't talk. So if I put my 4 Spanish 2 together, Canvas is going to organize them by alphabetical order or by period. I mean, how can I put grades easily?
It will initially organize them alphabetical, but you can filter by class period so that you can only, if you only want to see second or if you only want to see third. And then you can export the grade as a CSV file and import it into Focus if you wanted to.
Great, thank you.
Yes. Can we use badges to award to students? That will be a 103 thing. And yes, you absolutely can. What dimensions and sizes do I recommend for designing buttons on the home page? For the actual buttons themselves, like the round buttons, it's 197 pixels by 197 pixels. That works out to about 2 inches-ish. And then for banners, 800 by 200 is pretty good size. But you can play around with that a little bit. And that is something I'm working on right now for the Beyond Basics, the 102 course. I've got the Canva video is next on my list. So I am still working on these as quickly as I can. Anything else, guys?
Missy, I'm sorry. So are those dimensions you just gave for the Canva buttons only, or can I pull a picture anywhere and just resize its dimensions, I guess? Or does it depend on where I make my buttons? Because there's a lot of different button making apps out there.
Yeah, I would say, Dawn, just whatever you do, the more consistent you are with your size, that's the real key. 197 is what we did for Canva because that was the actual size of the badges that we send out. Because that's the equivalent to a 2-inch hole punch, which is what so that was why we did that. But you're welcome to play with those sizes. And if you're using like the Button Factory or anything like that, which you absolutely can do, just whatever you do, try to make sure you're sizing them consistently.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. All right, guys, any other questions? Okay, well, I've got 129. I will hang on for just a few more minutes if anybody else has a few more questions. Again, if you need help getting into a course, send me an email and I'll make sure that we get you enrolled. I will be updating. 102 is being updated kind of as we speak. In fact, there's new content in there today. And then 103 will be coming down the road. Okay, excellent, Joy. But again, the only one that is required is the Canvas Basics course. So if you've already done that, you've met the requirements that you need, but the rest of them are worth CPE hours. So if you want to continue your learning, you have through the end of the school year to get that done, and it is still worth CPE, exchange time, and you do get a t-shirt if you get it done before August 12th. That's absolutely right. So thank you so much for your time today, guys. Appreciate you being here on your summer and the work you're putting into this. Please let me know if I can answer any questions for you. I'm technically off, but I'm working. So I am answering emails. There may be occasionally when I put my out of office on, but I will try my best to get back to you as quickly as I can because I know that you're working on your summer as well. So again, check the calendar out, check out those webinars. And if you see something else that is specific that you wanted content with, register for those, and maybe I'll see you in a week or two. So have a good day and a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.